Hi everybody, this is Michael Hildebrandt and I'm your host on the Sleeptrust podcast, where I'm talking about how to gain back trust in your ability to have a superb sleep again. In this week's episode of the Sleeptrust podcast, we are going to talk about not only how to create a New Year's sleep resolution, but also how you can achieve your New Year's sleep resolution. And we're going to do so by walking you through a 6-step process that is proven and over 100 years old. So this is something that has really been tested over a century, actually. And if you are having sleep problems, are facing sleep problems over the last couple of weeks or months or even longer, or if you simply want to improve your sleep quality, this one is for you. And before we dig into the topic, it's New Year today. So let me start off with wishing you a healthy, happy, lucky, successful year 2020. And I hope this New Year's Day didn't start off with a headache, a big one, or maybe it should, because you partied too long. But even if this were the case, tomorrow everything's going to be fine again. So well done for having that New Year's party then in that case. And I also want to use this opportunity to say thank you. Thank you for listening to this podcast. Thanks for following me on Facebook and Instagram. If you're doing so, if not, you might want to put that onto your New Year's resolution. Only kidding, of course, but I'm publishing, the entire team is publishing really valuable content to get you inspired about your sleep, about improving your sleep, about the value that sleep has for us, what it can do for you, me, and everybody. And I'm also doing Facebook Lives once a week that go hand in hand with this podcast. Usually I pick one certain aspect of the podcast and dig into that in depth and discuss it for 10 minutes. So this is what you can expect if you join me on social media, but thank you so much for your time. Thanks for following me, and thanks for all your feedback that you have given me over the course of the last year. So this is a thing that I do not take for granted and that I'm really deeply thankful for. So thanks. But let's dig into the topic of how to create your New Year's sleep resolution right away. So what I'm going to walk you through here is a 6-step process that has been laid out from a guy called Napoleon Hill in his book, Think and Grow Rich. And this book is over 100 years old. So this is nothing new or hokey. And by the way, the book still gets published. I've got 2 versions of it at home. It's just fantastic. And there are entire personal development courses built only around this book or the content that this book carries in it. Napoleon Hill, I think he dedicated 20 or 30 years of his life to interview and talk to the most successful Americans at that time, including Theodore Roosevelt, Thomas Edison, John D. Rockefeller, and Mr. Woolworth. So many famous people that are on this list here. So enough social proof for this method now. We're going to dig into creating our own message, and at some point you will need a sheet of paper and a pen. That's all you'll need. But I recommend that you listen to this podcast the first time to let me walk you through the 6-step process, that you have this basic process in your mind, and then you kind of get your sheet of paper and your pen and listen to it again and do every step on your own to create your New Year's sleep resolution and the process around it to make everything stick and make everything achievable. So the first thing that you want to do is to write down what exactly you want to have. In our case, we want to have an improved sleep, right? But it's not enough to write down, I want to have a superb sleep. We want to get really, really specific here and clear. What does this mean for us? Because the other version is just too vague. Our conscious minds, they can't perform any action on that. So you want to get specific and nail it down to things like, I want to get 8 hours of sleep on average every day in the week. I want to go to bed at 10 p.m. I want to wake up at 6 a.m. I want to feel refreshed, healthy. I want to go to bed feeling secure and cozy. All those things that you wish for that relate to your sleep problem. And the second point that you want to write down is the price that you are willing to pay. And with price, I do not mean particular only money. So there are things that may cost money, like renovating your bedroom, getting a new daylight lamp or something like that, getting coaching, whatever. But there are a lot of things that you will have to pay a price that is not summed up in dollars. Price means change here. So if you want to go from where you are right now to a goal, to something that you want to achieve, to better sleep, to superb sleep, then you have to change things, because if you don't change things, then the result will stay the same. So write down what you are willing to pay. Are you going to cut down your TV consumption? Are you going to start reading before you go to bed, listening to music? Are you going to have a walk, nurture your body in a different way? Write down what you think that will help you most and that you are willing to do to reach the goal that you set above. Step number 3 is a very straightforward one. You simply put down the date until when you will have achieved your goal. Just listen to your gut feeling when this can be the case. You do not have to know how you will exactly achieve this goal. You just have to put down a date in the future that feels okay for you. So let's say 2 weeks may be not enough time for you to believe that you will achieve that goal, but maybe it's 2 months or 3 months, something like that. And you can achieve quite a lot if you take committed action in 3 months. So whatever is the time frame for you, you just take your pen and write that down. Step number 4 is to come up with a brief plan. It's not important that you get very, very detailed here, but you should put in the big bullet points and put them into kind of a coherent order. So let's say you want to start off with renovating your bedroom, that you feel cozy in there, then just put that down. Say, I'm going to renovate my bedroom. Make a cozy bedroom, something like that. What this exactly means is not important on this level here. So you do not have to write down the color that you're going to paint your bedroom. You do not have to have the exact bed or other stuff. It's just a very high level plan here. After that, I'm going to change my nutrition. I'm going to get into regular sleep schedule. That's kind of the level of detail that you want to have here. So now that you went through step 1 to 4, the heavy lifting is done. Well done for that. Step number 5 is very simple and straightforward. You simply take these 4 steps. So your goal, the price that you're going to pay, the exact date that you're going to achieve this goal, and the brief plan, and put it on a half of a sheet of paper to that it's not too big, kind of, and just simply write that down. Step 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you have created your goal card, which is step number 5. And as I warned you, it's a 6-step process. There is number 6, but this is very straightforward. Step number 6 is simply to read your goal card twice a day, at least twice a day. And you definitely want to do it first thing in the morning after you get up to get aligned and prepared for the day and get, everything into that thought. And last thing before you go to bed. That way your unconscious is going to be kind of getting this little guidance where you really consciously want to walk ahead. And as soon as it gets aligned, and this might take a couple of days or weeks even to get aligned with your conscious will to sleep superb, then everything is going to fall to place. And I will add on, even though this is, I'm not even sure, maybe it is part of Napoleon Hill's book, but even if not, that you want to do and take at least one little action a day. This doesn't have to be a big one. This could be a 1-minute action, but try to get into the discipline of doing one little thing a day to make progress. This could also be to read your goal card. So that's a small thing, and it won't take you long. It's just a little sheet of paper, so probably you're just going to take a minute, and probably even less, to read that. And doing this will simply elevate your success and will literally almost guarantee you being successful in achieving your goals, your sleep goals. So with that, you made it through the 6-step process. Well done. If you listened to this the first time, now would be a good time to get that sheet of paper, a pen, to rewind this thing to the beginning and then walk through, pause it at every step, take the action, and it'll probably not take you longer than 15-30 minutes to create your entire goal set, the entire setting that will set you up to not only kind of creating a goal that you find to be important for yourself, a sleep goal, but also create the setting that will help you to achieve that goal in a coherent manner. And with that, let's wrap up this week's episode of the Sleeptrust podcast. New Year is a fantastic time to set goals to improve your sleep quality. To set your best to achieve that sleep quality that you demand for yourself in 2020, follow Napoleon Hill's proven 6-step process, which is to define exactly what sleep quality you want to have, to write down what you are willing to pay in exchange for getting that result, to define an exact date when you will have achieved this, and to come up with a brief plan. Then pack all of that together, write it on a goal card, and read it at least twice a day, first thing in the morning and last thing before you go to bed. And that's it for this week's episode of the Sleeptrust podcast. I wish for all of you that you really create this goal card and that you achieve the sleep quality that you deserve to have, and that you tune in next week when we are going to talk about willpower. And this is a thing, I'm going to share a couple of tools that will really help you on, first off, to get started, and second, on the hard days which we all faced in executing on your goal card. So definitely tune in next week again, and until then, have a superb sleep. Hey there, and thanks for listening to the Sleeptrust podcast. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you want to get further information on this podcast or material that will help you to gain back your sleep trust, please check out sleeptrust.eu. That's sleeptrust.eu, where you will get lots of information around sleep. And here comes some legal stuff. Everything on this podcast is my opinion only, so do not take it as an advice, as I am not a doctor, nor have I considered your personal situation. If you feel that you need medical advice, please consider getting an appointment at your doctor of trust. If you want to give me any kind of feedback on this podcast, feel free to email me at podcast@sleeptrust.eu. I hope you tune in again next week, and until then, have a good sleep.